Hey there, troopers. This is Random Game Channel, back with some more gameplay tips for Starship Troopers Extermination. Okay, so recently, Estrella talked about what kind of tips do you think new players are kind of missing out on that don't always get talked about, like in the Discord or like in the community, things like that. So he asked some of the play testers in our channel in Discord, and I thought, well, this would be an interesting video to kind of go over and talk about. Now they are planning to do something with this, they'll do their own thing, but I kind of wanted to talk about it here on my channel. And the idea was, yeah, there'll be some overlaps. When I do my stuff, they'll do their stuff, but that main idea is to kind of like share the information in multiple places so that more people can be exposed to like these gameplay tips, so that more people can improve. Okay. Alright, so I redacted the names for everybody, just in case there's some people that didn't want their usernames to be shared or whatever, right? I respect your privacy. So I'm just gonna go from the top of the list to the bottom of the list, and we'll go from there, okay? Alright, so this one's Starship Troopers Extermination Advice for New Players. Questions new players have, such as the tanker is behind the tanker mutator, or holding Q with the medical drone shows an overlay. Alright, so what that's kind of referring to is that the only way right now that you can encounter the tanker is if the match has the tanker mutator. That's the only way you're going to see it. Holding Q will produce like this green line that'll show you where you're aiming the medical UAV drone. This one's cool, like you can hold it down. We're talking about the class ability button for the keyboard. I think maybe it might be the left bumper if you're using console, right? Use controller. You can hold it down, you can run with it. You can move around with it, you can look up, you can look down, you can move forward, you can move back, go side to side. And as long as you don't release the Q button, you'll be able to hold on to it. However, what they also didn't really mention is like when it turns green, that's when the medical drone has successfully or will successfully target a trooper that's downed. If it's yellow, that means there's no troopers that it can revive in that location. So that's just something a lot of people don't really know. Most times people just like click it and let it go. You can actually hold it down. The same can be said of the Demolisher's barrage ability. Works the same way. Hold it down, then you can like fine tune how far or how close you want to throw out or launch the grenades. Alright, next topic. Why can I revive so much quicker on easy? Revive speed is based on difficulty. Probably. That's like the guess there. Why are the times for the generator side objective completion so inconsistent? Generator objective gain being based on how many generators are active at one time. So, if you want to speed up that process, well, repair more generators. And then once the thing is done, all of them will unlock. Um, Next one. Why am I regaining health on hard difficulty where it's disabled? Why is the person next to me regenerating on hard but not me? The medical UAV is providing a passive healing to people, prioritizing the lower health of two potential targets. What also isn't kind of mentioned here for this one is that the healing will always start with the medic itself, and then after that, it'll choose a target that has lower health than another trooper. Then once that's done, it'll go heal the other trooper. So that's the reasoning behind it, and I think you need to be within like maybe 2-3 meters for this to work. It's not going to leave the medic outside of that range because you need to stick with them. Alright, so this one's super important that a lot of people just mess up on. So the mobile HQ doesn't need defending on ARC and AAS. So the critical structure you need to defend is actually the ARC. It even kind of says so in the top left of your HUD. As soon as the ARC is destroyed, well, that's it, it's game over. And a lot of people end up wondering, what the hell happened? Well, that's what the hell happened. You gotta defend and repair the ARC. Because, once it's gone, it's game over. Mobile HQ don't mean shit on those modes. It's not the thing you need to defend. So that's the thing you don't need to build up around first. Okay. Next thing, any capturing will go faster the more people that are inside of it. So sometimes you'll see like an objective where you gotta like stand in a circle. That's what that is. The more people that's inside it, the faster it'll capture. Alright, so don't be a chicken. So you need to run out there and stand in the circle, basically. When a hive appears in ARC, you gotta drop everything, form a squad, and get there rapid. Maybe some kind of threat level, education general, like how it works to keep it low example, could be useful. So I was saying, like, they still don't really understand like what increases or reduces the threat level, because there's like several different variables at play. Like, there could be patrols, or there could be like a mutator that increases like the amount of bugs or whatever. Maybe that last part is wrong. But definitely if you're going to take anything away from this section, just know that when a hive shows up, you need to get your ass over there, nuke that core, because if you let the hive go, you're gonna go into an infinite horde. Then you're gonna face infinite hordes of bugs, and it won't stop until you blow that core up, which is probably going to be impossible. Or you gather all the value gas that you need for ARC mode, and then the wave will end. So that's going to be an extremely hard task to do, especially if people are being super chicken, which happens like 99% of the time. And I've only seen like maybe a few people just like have the courage to go out there in the field and collect the gas. I'm one of those people that goes out and collects the gas when I can. So you just gotta play it smart and keep an eye on your TAC map and the objectives. The E series of guns penetrates enemies. You can shoot down fireballs too. That's from the Inferno. As an engineer, you can build ammo outside the base. Also, you gotta keep reloading the turrets. Okay, so several things here. The E-series guns, like the E-Pulse 88, E-Pulse pistol, E-Pulse 44, all of those weapons can over-penetrate and hit the bug behind them. So just something you should be aware of. Great if you're defending for example, like a choke point, and the bugs are kind of like stacked behind each other. You'll be able to hit something behind the first bug. Also, with the Inferno, you can shoot down the fireball. If you shoot it early enough, it'll just fall harmlessly outside of the range of the intended target. You cannot do that with a plasma grenadier though. You'll just die still. As an engineer, I think I mentioned this in greater detail in one of my posts down below. But basically, if you want to save the team some resources, if like you're playing on Horde or Arc, you can use your class ability to build an ammo crate outside the base. And of course, you gotta reload the turrets. They're not auto refilling on their own. You gotta reload them manually. A lot of people are negligent about that. So if you're gonna build a turret, then you gotta at least check in on it once in a while. Okay, so you get some water. Let's see. Engineers can carry 2 canisters, and they actually run faster with them. So this applies to ore and value gas. So normally, a trooper can only carry 1 canister. However, as an engineer, you can put 1 in your backpack and you can have 1 in your arms. If there are no engineers around, the next best person to give it to is going to be a ranger, because they can use their jump jets to boost across the field faster. Or you give it to a medic, because the medic is most likely going to be carrying the pheromone perk to like, forget what it's called, but like it de-aggroes them. The bugs aren't going to target the medic. So those are the 2 best candidates outside of the engineer. Alright, so attacking a hive during an ARC mission, who can do it? If you're going to do this by yourself, which sometimes happens when people are just being too much of a chicken, then the best one's going to either be a medic or a demo. But I like to add on maybe the ranger as well, but we'll get to that after we read this person's text here. So medics are fairly self-sustaining when it comes to health and should remain undetected most of the trip, especially if there's 1 person with them. So that's not going to really count as solo, but the idea is that they can self-revive with a drone. They can also hold stims in their hands, so if they get hit, they can heal themselves. So they can get in there and plant the nuke. So demos are heavy hitters during combat and are able to use their lures to keep the bugs preoccupied. So what's that? So the demos have a grenade, it's called a lure grenade, that pretty much does what it says it's going to do. You throw it, then these 3 hologram projectors will pop up, the bugs will be attracted to them, and then when they're distracted, you can just go in and place the nuke. My third take on this is the ranger. If the ranger has the stim dart in their, not the stim dart, but like the health stim in their hands, and their invincibility passive hasn't triggered yet, they're also a good candidate to go and solo the hive as well. They get hit, they can heal themselves with a stim. If they get their health knocked down past lethal, then they'll go invincible for maybe 10-30 seconds, right? So they're also a third candidate that can do solo on a hive. However, if we're talking about as a squad, um, well then check it out. All right, they're saying that sometimes there's two nukes, two nuke locations, two cores that pop up in a hive, and it's recommended you hit it with a 3 to 4 person squad to finish it as quickly as possible. Just about any composition can do, but they're saying that the most efficient one will involve at least one medic, one pheromone guardian, or a lure demolisher. So engaging the hive. After reaching the vicinity of the hive, you slow your push. 9 times out of 10, there will be a security force, right? So typically, when you get to the core in the hive, there's going to be the Royal Guard. So when a Royal Guard message pops up from Pyre and in your map, your TAC map, that's a good indication that a hive is about to pop up. And usually, the Royal Guard is going to be next to the core or cores. And there's going to be X amount of warriors and drones in that area. So you can scout the hive from a safe distance to gauge the numbers and positions of the bugs. This also will give you the opportunity to identify where the cores are so you can plan the best route to nuke it. So when you're ready, have your team engage them, use the lures, or have the Guardian go out do its thing to attract aggro. Then this will allow the other person to sneak by and place the nukes, and you also got to be careful about not shooting eggs, because there's a chance for you to spawn additional arachnids. They're saying that every 1 to 2 eggs popped will spawn a drone or a warrior, which will increase your odds at filling your objective and thus triggering the endless horde, or what people call the infinite horde. The other thing that you should also know that they don't mention here is that you need to look at your TAC map. When you look at your TAC map, specifically at the core, it'll tell you what kind of core it is. Sometimes you'll see, Tiger core, Gunner core, Warrior core, Drone core. So what does that mean, right? It means that any time you pop those eggs, it means that there's a chance it'll spawn one of those specified bugs. You don't really want to mess with them too much. There's an achievement to, if you destroy X amount of eggs, you get the achievement. But typically, you don't want to mess with those things too much, because it can snowball out of control really fast. Even if it's a drone core, there are going to be a lot of drones, and 5 to 10 drones on you is enough to kill you, and it's game over for you. Alright. So there you go. That's kind of what they mean. And this next blurb here, I kind of got ahead of myself. It's just mentioning, the TAC map and how to use it to identify what kind of hive that you have entered. Remember, when you get to the hive, check the TAC map and check to see what kind of core it is. The cores, I'll repeat them here, can be Tiger core, Warrior core, Gunner core, and Drone core, meaning the more eggs you pop, the more chances you'll spawn one of those those types of arachnids. Now, the other thing is that sometimes people are trying to complete the objective, or not the objective, I should say, the achievement where you destroy X amount of eggs. Best place to do that is in Hive Hunt. Outside of that, it's Arc mode. But in Arc mode, you don't really want to press your luck too much, because if you mess around too much and you get overwhelmed, well, then you just screwed up the game for the rest of the people that you're playing with. Stunning and staggering. Some people might get mixed up on what this is. So, stun duration on a bug is the same, but how long before they can be stunned again will vary depending on the bug. When enough stagger damage is applied to a bug, it'll interrupt the bug's movement or attack, which can be applied over and over again. Attacking the same bug as a team can keep a bug from advancing. Alright, a few things here. So stun is like, as soon as you hit a bug with that projectile, it'll just kind of like, sit there for a second. To figure out which weapons can do stun, you just need to look it up. Hover over the weapon or just pull it up in the loadout screen. It should tell you in this description. So examples are like shotguns. I'm not sure if the auto shotgun can do it, but definitely the pump shotguns. I think even the underbarrel shotgun for the Merida can do that now. Sniper rifle. The real sniper rifle, the XXX one. Also, the Hawkeye can do that. Emancipator can do that. I think the grenade launcher can do that. Alright, so that's kind of like what stun is and what some weapon examples can do that. Stagger is like you shoot it enough times, then it'll go into stun. I'm not sure about the cooldown of how often it'll trigger, but a good example of that is trying to take down like a tiger or a royal guard. It has enough health where you can see it where like if you shoot enough, it'll get stunned. So that's kind of like how stagger works. You trigger it, then it goes into stun, right? At least that's how I'm understanding it. An even better example is to go and find a tanker. So that gray bar underneath the red bar, the red bar is its health. The gray bar that shows up is the stagger meter. When the team shoots it enough time, that stagger meter will fill up, and then it'll be stunned for a few seconds. So that's the best example to see of how that works. Alright. So the Demolisher has a cool passive. You get 25% more explosive damage. The Demolisher's Barrage, like I was saying earlier, functions the same way as a medic UAV drone. You can hold the class ability button, aim it, move it around, and then release that button to let it go. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. Well, we'll just do that. That one skipped by me, I'm sorry about that. So the Watkins trigger doesn't require explosive utilities or grenades to be available. Just equip it in your loadout. Okay, so that one does trip me up a little bit too. I didn't know that because the description said you do. Funny how that works. Alright, so all the stuff that I didn't redact for the names outside of this person's name, which again, I'm sorry I didn't catch that. I left open for my name. This is my Steam name. I'm Rabid Rabbit, but on YouTube I'm known as Random Game Channel. Man.
darkness. I need a cough drop.
Okay. Watkins. Alright, we just went over that. So for me, I got a lot of stuff. Alright. Don't stand in the red circle that shows that one Vulture 1 is going to drop a structure. So that's gonna either be a bunker in Advanced and Secure or AAS. Or in Arc mode, it's gonna be the Arc itself. Alright. So if you get turned into a pancake because you stood in the red circle and Voltron dropped on top of you, you don't get a chance to be revived. You just wasted the team a ticket. On lower difficulty modes, not really a problem because you get more tickets to work with. However, if you're playing on hard mode, well, you kind of screw the team over. Tickets are very, very small in number on hard mode. So, something you keep an eye out on. Alright, the On Your Feet perk has a range of 22 meters. That's for the medic. You can also, for On Your Feet perk, use it through obstacles and bug corpses. So to use it, you just revive the trooper using your default action key. So keyboard, I believe that's going to be the letter E, as in electricity. I don't know what the word is for that. You know, alpha, beta, Charlie. I don't know what E is. However, the engineer's build tool, their passive for their class allows them to repair and build at a range of about 23 meters. Didn't know that, did you? Tested it out. Alright, so this one's about smashing eggs in hives. I already talked about that. This next one here, for some reason, people do not revive other people. Why? I don't know. But this ain't Call of Duty, this ain't PvP, this is a PvE game. If you do not pick up your troopers, well, then you are probably gonna lose the game. I do not like it at all when I see people not reviving each other. It doesn't make sense. You're helping the team lose. I don't know why. But every trooper can revive other troopers. You don't need the medical stim. Just use your default action key or button and you revive each other. Okay? Big pet peeve of mine. Alright, next thing. Don't build a bunker so that the entrance is facing a wall or other obstacle. This will prevent troopers from accessing the inside of the bunker. So I was just minding my own business one day and someone built the blueprint for our bunker right underneath my feet. I was like, cool, I'll help build it too. And then everybody did. What I didn't know was that they trapped me inside because the entrance was facing a wall and I could not get out. Do not do that. Alright. Weak points. So weak points, you can view my videos. Arachnid armor and weak point location. This is my version 2 of that. And I have one specifically for the tanker, showing the armor and weak point. Okay. I just want to add for the Inferno, which I didn't have in this video here, the additional weak point is its eyes, but usually you need to get like within arm's reach of it to be able to do that. It's incredibly hard to do that even with a sniper at long range, even though it's zoomed in. So that's just an extra thing. So use those videos if you're more of a visual learner, but let me just tell it to you here. So the weak points of all warrior variants are the piece of their face that's between the two vertical mandibles. So what's a warrior? And what are their variants? A warrior is your standard bug. It's one you see in the movies all the time. Then the next one is a tiger. Then the next one after that is going to be the royal guard. So those are all the warriors and the variants. Next one is the grenadier. It's the bulbous sac that's on top of the body. When it opens up, that's when you can shoot the weak point. Also, there's no armor on the neck, so you can hit it and you'll deal straight damage to it, no reduction, because there's no armor there. The Inferno. Weak point is the eyes. Oh, space. The bulbous sac that's on top of their body. And the back of their tail. That's the part that has all the red glowing bits on it. For the gunner, that's going to be the red glowing sacs on the left and right side of their body. Drones and bombardiers just die in one hit with most weapons, so they can pretty much be killed easily. They can be hard countered by throwing a well-placed chem grenade. So yeah. Extra gameplay tip about this is that if you have a chem grenade, you throw it out on a refinery. That'll protect it from the bombardiers and the drones. Obviously, one hit kill them. Also, if you see a guardian in siege mode, throw it on top of their position. It does obscure their line of sight for a little bit, but if there's a ton of bombardiers in that area, you just save their life. Because when they're in the siege mode, it takes a couple seconds to get out of it, and that's enough time for the bombardier to detonate and potentially kill them. So when they do die from the chem grenade, it's not going to explode, so that's just good information to hold on to. Alright, so sniping, there's a thing called focus mode. In Call of Duty and Battlefield, it's that thing where you hold your breath when you're sniping. I need some water. So, that's something you can do in this game as well. For the keyboard's left shift, I don't know what that is on the controllers. I have no idea, so you need to figure that out. If you have trouble figuring it out, open up your game settings, navigate to wherever the controller settings or gamepad setting is, and look it up there. You can reload while you're running. Don't worry about kill stealing. As long as you damage the bug, and someone else kills it, everybody gets the full XP. So, yeah, I've seen people complain about that. Oh, you just stole my kill. Nah, bro, don't worry about that. Everybody gets the XP. Alright. So if you're curious about how to earn XP for your class, for your rank, and for your weapon, I break it down in this video, so we can check it out real quick. So this is called, this is my updated video for it. It's revisiting the XP guide and XP farming tips for rank and weapons. So check it out. I go into detail about how you can gain XP in all the different ways. I also give tips for how to get XP when you're wanting to farm for it. Oh, interesting. I didn't include the link to that. Can't believe I didn't catch this until now. The spreadsheet for it. So I'll do that. In the spreadsheet, you'll just see everything listed there with my change log notes of when I changed and updated things. So I'll go ahead and attach that after I'm done here. Just going to leave this up so I remember to do that. We already talked about the Inferno Fire Blast Orb. You can repair the Arc. You cannot repair that in Horde mode, but in every other mode you can. Um, Remember, the Arc is the thing you want to protect. As soon as it's destroyed, you just lost the game. Good luck. Alright, so if you're looking at the attack map, for keyboard, it's going to be pressing the Tab key. So if you open that up, you should see a yellow area that's been colored in your map. Let's take, for example, AAS. If you have it open in AAS, you'll see like this yellow box that's like been colored in. That'll tell you where to move for your next objective. Also, with attack map, you can see all the different objectives that are currently in the map that needs to be completed. So definitely I highly recommend exploring this because there's a lot of good information in there. Next thing related to the attack map is the Royal Guard. If you're playing Horde mode, sometimes you'll even see it pop up in AAS, and if you have it open in Arc mode, you'll sometimes see the Royal Guard show up on the map as an icon, right? However, sometimes when you get to that location where it was last reported, it's not there. This thing does travel around the map. There is a bit of a delay between its true position in the game versus its last reported position on the map. Sometimes if you don't see it there, that means it's moved on. The weak point for the Tinker is on the back. After a certain amount of damage is dealt to it, it creates an orange scar, which I detail in the video that I showed earlier, that link for it. However, there's no armor located on the little legs on its back, so that's a great place to shoot it. I hear that you can stagger it faster if you shoot its face. I have no idea to prove it, so I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. Like I mentioned earlier, the gray, not the gray bay, wow, the gray bar next to the health bar is a stun. I should say not stun, but stagger threshold. When you max it out to temporarily stun. With the Tinker, it can one-hit kill troopers with fire spray attack with no chance for revival, so gameplay tip here is that when you see it lift its head up and it pulls it back to its one side, either left or right, it's about ready to do this fire spray attack. So find some cover and hopefully you don't get engulfed in flames. Also, when you jump on top of its back, it's going to try to knock you off like you see in the movie. And then it'll stomp on you, then you'll die. However, I think you get a chance of being revived. Not with the fire spray though. Alright, my next big pet peeve is do not give up right away when you go down. Give other troopers and medics a chance to revive you, but especially do not give up when a person is literally in the process of reviving you. I've had it happen to me so many times, it just pisses me off. Like, yo, dude, like, if you wait a few more seconds, like, I can revive you, you're gonna be right here, you're gonna be right in the action, you don't have to go back to the bunker or the mobile HQ. Don't make sense to me. Don't be that trooper. Alright, lava can burn you. Find a path around, even if it takes longer to reach your intended destination. Big problem in the Agony Prime map when you're trying to, you know, cross a lava river. There are some stones that you can step on, but most of the times it ain't gonna happen. And I'm not sure when it's triggered, but sometimes you get instant incinerated. There's no chance of revival. So find a way around to walk around. Maybe there's a land bridge or a man-made bridge, and you cross it that way. Better to save the ticket than waste it and do the journey all over again. And then you might run to dying again because there's bugs there now. Okay? Don't fire the last shell on the pump shotgun. The reload speed is faster when one is still in the chamber because that's the extra animation that your character model has to go through. So do not fire that last shell. Next thing, refer to your key binding layout so that you know how to use your class abilities. Let me put a space here. So definitely, if you don't know what buttons to press to, change your weapon, how to sprint, how to change your utilities, or even how to use your class ability, I highly recommend checking out the key binding layout. There's one for keyboard and mouse, there's one for console, so check it out if you don't know. Alright, place structure blueprints before placing proximity mines, ammo crates, all types of fabricators, shock beacons, nukes, demolition charges, deployable walls. The walls thing here is the utility that Guardian can deploy. These things can block base building, so make sure you just set these things last. Also, bug corpses can obstruct blueprints as well, so make sure you clear them. Building a tower, wall, MG turret, sentry turret, or any other kind of object in the middle of a small or large gate will not allow it to close. Bug corpses can jam gates too. So I sometimes see people trying to close the gates over and over again. They're wondering, what the hell's going on? Well, that's what the hell's going on. There's something in the middle of the gate and it's not allowing it to close. So there you go. Now you know. As mentioned earlier, you can sprint side to side, but how do you do it? You hold down the sprint button and you move left or right. You'll see a difference. Not sure if you can do that with controllers, but you can definitely do that on mouse and keyboard. Okay. Next one is structures can be built faster if there are more troopers building it at the same time. Same thing applies for when you're repairing something. Engineers should unbuild, or demolish I should say, the structures they created from their class ability so that they can build them in a different location. Those things persist, so if you happen to build 4 ammo crates in position A, and you happen to move to position B that's like 500 meters away, you can't build anymore, because those things are still in the game. Alright, next thing. Engineers will need to aim their cursor or their crosshair outside of the base when using the class ability in order to use their personal ore supply. Being inside the base and sometimes pointing from inside the base can trigger the use of the team's overall ore supply, so to be safe, just make sure you're outside of the base and you're pointing outside only. An engineer shovel can clear bug corpses faster than a trooper that's equipped with a knife. Part of an engineer's duty is to clear the corpses. Also, the demolisher if you equip the prosthetic servos perk, you can literally punch a corpse and it will destroy it. It works faster than just a knife. Alright, this one is another pet peeve of mine. Throwing a napalm grenade in someone's face creates immense line of sight and visual scanning issues. Have you ever had someone throw a napalm grenade in your face? If so, it's terrible, right? If you haven't, don't do it. It just blocks everyone's vision, and then you'll probably end up getting them killed because they can't see what's coming at them. A great place to use them is like choke points. Throw it far and away from troopers where you think the bugs are going to be. Also, with fire-based weapons, if you use it on a fire warrior or an inferno, you're going to deal 0 damage, at least as far as I know. People have told me, I think there's like somewhere in the patch notes, that you deal 0 amount of damage if you use a flamethrower or a napalm grenade on a fire warrior or inferno. FYI. Fabricators. They can be destroyed by shooting at them or blowing them up with an explosion. Accidentally destroying these can negatively impact troopers, especially if it's a health stim fabricator. You just took away people's ability to heal and revive each other. While building a structure or refinery, you can hold down the build button and walk around it. This allows you to view what's around you. Useful if you get the itchy feeling that a bug is in the area. Helpful method to keep you alive, especially if you're an engineer and you're trying to speed up the refinery process. So any of these tips that you see with the build tool or the engineer, you can go to my channel. Go to my channel and type in engineer gameplay tips. This is old because it's version 1. Version 2 is here. Just give everyone an FYI. I am planning to do a new set of gameplay tips for each class and a couple other topics for gameplay tips when we get to version 1.5, because a lot of small things have changed since the game came out of early access. I think that's a good time to do new stuff because there'll be a lot of people playing. But coming back to the build tool and the class abilities, all the stuff I'm describing here can be seen in the video here. So if you're a visual learner, this is a great resource for you to use. It'll show you what I'm talking about. Environmental awareness. I'm always talking about this in my gameplay tips videos. Don't get complacent and sit in one area without picking up on your visual scanning. You gotta move to live. What do I mean by that? Okay, so you can't just not look around all the time. You need to be scanning your environment a lot. The bugs can come out of nowhere. A bombardier can come out of nowhere and blow you up when you thought there was nothing there before. It was only like 3 seconds ago. So look around you, look up. Sometimes there's plasma bombardment, sometimes a plasma grenadier or an inferno shooting things at you. If you don't look around, you're not going to know, then, well, you're just going to die. So you got to work on scanning your environment, looking around you. Just the same way you would do in real life if you're in a sketchy ass neighborhood. Or if you're trying to cross a busy street and there's a lot of cars, you're not just gonna walk out into the middle of the street without looking, right? Like my neighbor. I mean, goddamn, this guy is gonna get himself killed one day because he doesn't look up. Don't be like my neighbor. Look around you. Keep yourself alive. Okay. Don't place all 4 hard ammo in the base at the same place. Hard ammo is another term that people use for ammo crates. That's the thing that you can build using ore. Why hard ammo? Why is it called that? It allows people to um, refill all their utilities in addition to their ammo. Now, the other thing that's called soft ammo is actually the ammo fabricator that the engineers can build. That thing will only refill an ammo and not the utilities, so that's why they call it soft ammo. But coming back to this idea here of not placing all 4 of them in the same spot, well, the idea is that this is a cooperative gameplay experience. You need to share the ammo and you need to spread it out. So if, for example, the ammo is on the center of the base and people are fighting at the northern section, southern section, eastern section, western section, they're all going to have to come back away from the action to refill on their ammo and stuff, right? By the time they get back, the wall that they were defending is probably destroyed or severely damaged. So spread it out. Don't do that. I see people do it all the time, and it's so bad. Also, if a inferno lights up that section with the inferno blast, well, nobody's getting ammo till the fire goes away, and it persists for a good amount of time. Also, if the bugs swarm the base and they're all over that section of the base where you put all the ammo, well, no one's getting ammo because you're gonna get yourself ganked by the bugs. So if you spread it out, you know, there's chances that if, you know, ammo crate 1 is being targeted by Inferno, you can move to ammo crate B that's somewhere else in the base. You can get ammo that way. Ammo crates can't be destroyed with the explosions or being shot at, so what you need to do is fire your weapon 1 time, restocking your ammo, and you repeat this process over and over again until all the ammo is gone. Okay, that's the way to get rid of it. Proximity mines, demo charges, shock beacons, nuclear det packs, the nuke, all those things cannot be destroyed by other troopers, so do not place them first when you're trying to build a base. Next one, build half walls as a buffer around the base and to soak up grenadier attacks. Half walls are actually called short walls, I believe, and what they mean is instead of building the base to the very edge of the perimeter where you can build it 1 tile back and you build some short walls around it. It acts like an extra buffer to the base, and this saves you resources to build something else, like more walls and bunkers somewhere else. Also, if you build a straight line in front of the part of electrical fence that's facing the bugs, it acts as an extra line of armor for the electrical fence. Electrical fences and short walls have the least amount of health, so you need to stay on top of those and keep them repaired. Also, with electrical walls, please don't build it around the arc as the last line of defense. Like I said, it has a very limited amount of health, and it's very little. 3-4 bug can just easily overwhelm it. Sure, it shocks and kills bugs, but as a last line of defense, I'd rather have a wall because you can stand on top of it. With the electrical fence now, you can stand on top of it, but it's kind of hard because you need to like jump over the little spokes that stick up on top. if you want to move along the railing. And like I said, the health is very small. And if you're depending on that as your last line of defense, well, most likely the Ark is going to be destroyed. Put it adjacent to it, but not like physically next to it. Alright, use the watchtowers. It gives you better line of sight because you're up higher. Not a lot of people walk on top of it because oftentimes, you know, the Inferno, if it shoots at it, the fire is going to persist. Gunners, well, you're kind of giving them more ways to shoot you. There's a lot of gaps in the tower, so just be careful out there. So switching to your sidearm and then to a stim can cancel the animation and putting the weapon away. I didn't know that, so that's cool. Build towers to intercept Inferno and Grenadier shots that are aimed at the Ark and Mobile HQ. So what that kind of does is like acts as like a missile interception system. We don't have anything official yet to take care of those projectiles, but the splash damage that is produced from the Inferno and Grenadier shots is negligible. And it's not going to be dealing as much damage as taking a direct hit from these bugs. So something to consider. So I'm not sure how much of this theory holds true. I saw some making video on it and I made my own video on it and kind of ran with it. But I did this a long time ago. What's happening is I tried to demonstrate structure durability by timing how long it takes to build each structure. Would be nice to have some info on this to know for sure what's more structurally sound than other structures. But basically, if we go here, you'll see that I have a timer that I turned on for this, and it'll show you how much time it takes to build each structure. So if we go, let's see, we go electrical fence. See, that's 2 seconds, and it can be destroyed rather easy. Exactly. So let me see. Where's the wall? I want to show you something. Wall durability. See, 4 seconds. If this theory holds true, and time is a good measure of how strong a structure is, you can see that it takes 4 seconds versus the electrical wall is only 2. It's weaker. That's my gripe there. That's my talk. Alright. Medics work well when they have high ground to get their drones on target. Keep a medic up high or at base in a tower, and you have a long distance healer If a medic is level with a down target, just jump to get a small aim advantage. So jumping will kind of help get the drone up and over some small obstacle. Because right now the drone has been improved, but it still kind of gets stuck on stuff. So just give it an angle, give it an opportunity to reach the intended target, basically. Alright, so this one, at the front lines in a firefight with teammates that's backing you up, crouch. There is friendly fire in this game, and if you're in front of people on a firing line, someone might accidentally shoot you in the back. So crouch. It works so well, especially if you're in a tunnel or in like Hive Hunt. There's lots of tunnels. That's going to allow the person behind you to shoot at the bugs too, which then increases your team's firepower, right? So this one came from the Discord. Also, I forgot who mentioned it, but I even made a short on it. Shock grenades can one-hit kill drones in any difficulty mode. I'm not sure about bombardiers. Something you need to test out, which is what they mentioned. But yeah, that's it. That is all the advice that I and the other people in the group can think of when it comes to, advice for new players. So let me correct the capitalization here. Hopefully that helps you get up to speed on what's going on, how to play, and yeah. Well, until then, troopers, I will keep on fighting, and so should you. And who knows, I might even see you in the field. Don't forget to give this video a like, a comment, and subscribing to the channel. This will help me grow as a channel. So right now I'm a very small channel, and I can use all the help I can get, and I really appreciate anybody that does. Until next time, troopers, keep on fighting, and I'll see you next time.